Hello and welcome back to my channel, Craft Time by Casey. I am Casey and today I want to highlight all the finished jewelry from the July 2023 Potomac bead boxes, both the kit edition and the treasure edition. If you are interested in the Potomac bead boxes, either the treasure edition or the kit edition, or like me, you're interested in both, then I will have all the information in the description box below, and I highly encourage you to go check them out. You will also find they have an amazing website with just about anything you need in the jewelry making hobby. So if you would like to see how these pieces came about, then stay tuned. All right, let's get right into it. I'm going to start with the tools that I will be using. I have one set of cutters. I have one size 10 beading needle. I'm going to use my Beadsmith thread zap, and I will be using my 8-pound fire line in the color Smoke, and it is this black color. And I always get 125 yards just because I go through it so quickly. And I want to briefly mention my tool set. It is the Casual Comfort tool set, and as the name suggests, this is the most comfortable tool set that I have found. It is very high quality, very well made, and as you can see, these tools are a little bit larger. A lot of times you will see tools that you can order online or buy in the store, jewelry making tools that are just a little bit smaller like this. And you can see holding it this way, these handles are just a little bit larger, and it makes it a lot more comfortable to grip, a lot more comfortable to use, and I really can't imagine using anything else. So I will have my tool set linked down below, along with everything else I use in the video that did not come from the bead box. And I will also link down below the opening video I did for this month's bead box, and it will have a detailed description of the beads that I use that came from the box. And from my own stash, I have an ear wire and a wire guardian here. And I'm also using my own size 15-0 seed beads. Everything else came from the bead box, but the size 15-0 seed beads, they came from my own stash. The 11-0 seed beads came from the bead box in the larger container that I have here. These right here. So here is the earring that I will be making. I have already made one right here, and we will be making the matching one together. So I've threaded my needle, and I have about 2.5 feet on here. So the first thing we're gonna pick up is the disco ball bead. This came in the box. This is gonna be the center bead of our earring. Put it on and slide it all the way down to the end. And you only need to leave enough room to tie a knot at the end. And then I'm gonna pick up 6 11-0 seed beads, and I'm gonna go through the same way that I just went through, just like that. And pull it through. So it's gonna wrap around on that side. And then I'm going to go back through that set of 6. Go through 3 at a time. Go through the next 2 and that last one. Here we have it, just like this. And I'm going to go ahead and tie a knot on the 2 strings right here. And I'm going to tie just a regular over-under knot. Do it once, do it again, and then pretty snug, pull on it. And then I'm going to get pretty close with my cutters. So this is what I have right now. So I just tied that knot, so I want to go through the center bead. And now I'm coming out the other side just like that. And now I pick up 6 more, and I'm going to go back through the same way. And now I have 6 on both sides just like that. And I'm going to go back through the 6 that I just added. So I'm coming out of this one right here, this 11-0 here at the top. And now I'm going to pick up 1 more 11-0 and go all the way back around the other 6. So you're adding that 1 to this side, to the opposite gap, and then you're adding 1 more to that opposite gap. and going all the way around. So now you should be surrounded with 11 O's. Here's the one right here at the top that you added. You're going to go through that one and go through one more until you're coming out the one right after that one you added. And now here's where we start the peyote stitch all the way around. And we're using these 2mm beads that came in the box. And to add these to our peyote stitch, we're coming out of this one right here. We're going to go over the next one and then under the one after that, just like that. So where we're coming out, we're skipping the next one and going under the one after that. So it's going to add it like that where it sticks up, and if they're a little crooked or a little lopsided, that's okay. Just make it kind of snug. It'll balance itself out as we keep going. You're going to take another one and skip the next one from where you're coming out right there. Skip the next one and go under the one after that. And we're going to do this all the way around. We'll do one more. So right where you're coming out there, you're going to skip the next one and go under the one after that, just like that. So I'll finish adding the rest of these. So right now I am adding that last one, and you should be where you're coming out on that last one and you skip it and you go under the next one. You should be coming out where you started, just like that. So I'm going to go over this one right here, under the next one, and pull it snug. So now it's going to look something like that. And now I'm going to go up to the next level, which means right where I'm coming out, I'm going to go through that 2mm one that we added, the first one. Just like that. And as you can see, as we start going through this row, it straightens it out. So now the next row, I have a 15-0, an 11-0, and a 15-0. This is the combination we're going to add in between each one of these. So I have this, and I'm going to go right into the next 2mm bead here. Just like that. And pull it snug. So it should look just like that. And again, 15-0, 11-0, 15-0. And we're going to go into that next 2mm bead right there and pull it snug. And we're going to do that all the way around. And here I am, I've made it all the way around, except I haven't added that last one yet. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to add that last one going through that 2mm bead, and I'm going to go ahead and go through the 15-0 that I added and the 11-0, just like that, but not through the following 15-0. So I want to come out of that 11-0. So right now we're looking like this. So the next layer of the peyote stitch is right here. So we have the 11-0 of the rondelle that came in the box and the 11-0. So from this 11-0 that we're coming out of, we're going to go in the next 11-0. So where we added that next 15-0, 11-0, 15-0, we're going to go through that center one and pull it through. Just like that. So we're coming out of this 11-0 and we're going to go into the next one. Like that. So just like that, all the way around. So now I have that last set, and I'm going to go into the 11-0 in that first one. And then once I pull that one snug, I'm going to go up the 11-0 that I added and go out the rondelle. Don't go back through the second 11-0, just right out the rondelle. So this is what we should have so far. And the next layer is this 15-0 and the fire polish bead with a 15-0. And you're going to go from rondelle to rondelle all the way around. So just like that, I'll add the next one. Get the next set, go through the next rondelle. Just like that, all the way around. All right, so here's what I have right now. I have that last set to be added, and I'm going to go through the rondelle, and I'm going to go through the 11-0 that I added, and I'm going to go through that fire polish bead just like that and pull that through. So here's what I have right now. And the last set is 4 11-0s, and you'll be going from the fire polished to the fire polished. Just like this. Just like that. Pick up the next 4. Next fire polish. Be careful not to go through those 15-0s. They are kind of small. So just like that all the way around. And here's my last 4, and I'm going to put it through that last fire polish bead. So here is the entire thing. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go back through that outside layer of the 11-0s and the fire polish just to secure it. So we'll go through this one, go through these 4, and then the fire polish, and just all the way around. All right, so I've made it all the way back around. I've secured it, and if you can see the top of the center bead, I want it to be kind of facing up and down, so I want to be coming out of the one that's right above it, because if you go out the other side, it's in that in-between space, so I want to have it right above that center bead opening. So now we're going to add the wire guardian. So I'm going to have 1 11-0, and I'm going to go through one side of that wire guardian, and I'm going to wrap around, go through the other side of the wire guardian, and I'm going to pick up one more 11-0 and go back through that same fire polish bead, just like that. And just kind of straighten up the wire guardian. So now I'm going to go back through that one more time, through the 11-0, through the wire guardian, through the other side, and through the 11-0. And through the fire polish bead. And again, just pull it snug and kind of straighten it up. So at this point, that's pretty secure. And now I'm going to go back down, and it's just a matter of tying the knot. So I'll go back down these next 4, and then I'm going to go through here to secure a knot. Go through, put it through the loop, and then pull it kind of snug. If you have a loop like that, it's okay. Go through that fire polish bead. Go through the other side, same thing, go through the loop, pull it snug, go through the loop, pull it snug. So now I can take my needle off, get close with my cutters, cut it. So now I'm going to get my thread zap, and I'm going to get close to that thread there so it goes away just like that. And there you have it. So now I'm going to add my ear wire. I'm going to use my round nose pliers, open that little loop at the end, connect it to the wire guardian, and close it. Just like that. So here are my peyote stitch earrings using the treasure box from July 2023. So now on to the finished jewelry from the kit edition. So the first pattern I'm going to go over is the pearl and cluster crystal earrings. I have them right here, and these were by far the simplest pattern. I do think they are very cute. It was just a matter of making several loops and connecting them together. But I will say I did not need the video version of this one. They are quite simple, connected by some of those oval jump rings in the middle. And I think these were the easiest pattern, and they are quite cute. So the next pattern I'm going to go over is the Lydia Gemstone brooch pattern. And I have it right here. And let me tell you, this one was really fun to make. I think it is beautiful and I really like how it comes together. And here is the back, and I made it, this one, exactly as the pattern calls for, where you could, it's a brooch, you could pin it to just about anything you wanted to pin it to. So it is very pretty. For this one, I did go to the video version of the pattern, which for every pattern, the website is here on the back. In that video version, it gave several alternate options of things to make. And the one thing I will say about this is this fringe that it calls for in the middle, it covers up a lot of the pattern underneath. So as I was making it, I'm like, this is so pretty. And then when you add the fringe, I do think this looks really nice, but it kind of covers up what's underneath here. So what I did is I made a second one, and there was enough of the extra materials down here to make a second one and to still have leftover materials after that. So here is the second one that I made, and I followed the pattern exactly as it called on the paper here. I just stopped at the point where it added the fringe because I just think that is so pretty. And honestly, I might make more like this with different pearls I have in my own stash, because none of these materials are all that, unusual. These are all pretty common materials. So I really liked this pattern without the fringe as well. The difference, I added a bail at the top. I sewed in my own ladder stitch bail and put one of the strands that I had in my own stash, and just made a really beautiful pendant, which I really love. This is the back of it, and I think this is beautiful. So here are the two of the second pattern, and I would say as far as difficulty goes, this wasn't difficult at all. It's a very easy pattern to follow. For me, it just kind of helped to have the visual of the video version, but no, I would not say this one was very difficult. So here's the second one, on to the last one. So the last pattern is the Winnie Pearl Floral Necklace, and here it is. And I will say this was a little bit time consuming, not too bad though. It was not difficult to make. I did use the video version of this one just to have that little bit of extra support. So I would say this was probably the most difficult one out of these three, but I really wouldn't say it was that difficult. It was time consuming, like I said, because you had to make 7 of these individually before you could put everything together. So that did take a little bit of time. And here's what they look like on the back. It is quite large as a necklace. And one thing I changed in the pattern is the clasp. On the pattern, it called for a cut button as the closure. And for me, my preference is I'm not a fan of cut buttons on necklaces, especially a necklace this large. It felt like there was a lot of weight to it. So I chose to put a lobster clasp on it from my own stash. And there you have it right there. But I do think this turned out really pretty. And one of the suggestions in the video version is you could make a matching pair of earrings, and where you just make these two components and then attach, maybe a wire guardian and have, ear wires. Very simple pair of earrings to match this necklace. So in my opinion, I think this is really pretty, really beautiful. So that is the last pattern. Let me bring them all back here on the screen to close it out. So here is everything completed from this month's bead boxes. Once again, if you are interested in the Potomac bead boxes, either the kit edition or the treasure edition, or like me, you're interested in both, I'll have all the information in the description box below. I definitely encourage you to check them out. They have just about everything you could need for the jewelry making hobby. So if you like this video and you want to see other videos like this, go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below and give me a like. Leave a comment. I absolutely love reading my comments. You guys are so, so kind, and I definitely look forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye.